How we feeling, DC? But every time she looked away, didn't know she'd ever make it back. He wondered if the night might change them. If they walk too far with the path of raceless days. He's growing old, just time that hates us. My soul full of love to make it best. I'm terrified that ages. She felt the way his words were rife with doubt. She smiled, said let your fears complain and got to. Let me say I'm certain that I'll be here for a while. I don't know how the night might changes. I'm not sure just how far this road goes. I don't know how much time I hate us, but I wanna spend it terrified with you. Although if you protest, although if you promise stay the same, oh, time I'll walk away, and maybe I'm changing, I'm staying the same. Either way. How's everyone feeling? This is a crazy, crazy room. This is the craziest room I think we've ever played before, so thank you all so much for coming out to see us. We did a show in the other room about a year ago. It was one of my favorite shows and my favorite crowds we've ever played to, so I love being in DC. Thanks for being with us. We're going to tell some old stories today, play some new songs, some old songs. We're going to start with a very, very new song that you probably haven't heard unless you've come to another show. It's a very, very old story. It's about the battle of the Titans and the gods in ancient Greece. And one Titan in particular who had a punishment to carry the celestial heavens on his back that we now know as Atlas. We think of him as carrying the earth. I think this is a good place to start because the song is the permission you give someone who's carrying something that's very, very heavy to feel all the things associated with carrying a heavy thing. So hopefully you feel that permission tonight, because we're going to feel a lot of things. This is a song called Atlas. Oh, is it true that it's all gonna go? All the birds, all the trees, every letter she wrote. Change makes a fool of a comfortable soul. It sits out to break me each time I get home. Girl in the fields, and I cried in the sight. 'Cause I knew her the second I looked in her eyes. She said, please don't you go, all I need is your time. I've been holding the earth, and my shoulders are tired. So you can tell me you can cry. It's hard to feel the world sometimes. So you can tell me you can cry. Pour for me if you're running straight. Trees, so they turn to stone. The child doesn't know that it's rare to be kind. The deepest of sadness still looks like a smile. And the girl in the field had old in her eyes. So I said, give me a turn. I can't put this on you, I can't put this on anyone. But maybe your presence will make me feel strong enough. So you can tell me you can cry. It's hard to feel the world sometimes. You can tell. Is it true? It's still worth it to try. That the souls of two people combine at first sight. I needed you, you stood here a while. I'll love you forever for letting me cry. Thanks very much. All right, that was the happy part of the show. I'm going to tell you one more very long story. It's an important story because it's the story of the record, and that's the reason why I'm here today. It was the reason why I was here last time, and it's the reason why people know my music at all, probably, is the record that I put out a couple months ago called To Love a Thing That Fades. That's the name of this tour. Those are the songs that we're going to be playing for you tonight. And to do that, we're going to go back to ancient Greece. We're going to tell you a story about a very famous pair of lovers named Orpheus and Eurydice. Who's heard that myth before? All right, cool, never mind. No, I'm gonna tell you. In ancient Greece, there lived a man named Orpheus. He was a mortal man. He went through all the same things that we go through here. He was tied to the same mortality that all of us are tied to here, and thus he was not immortal as many of the old Greek heroes are. He felt very, very deep things, and he expressed himself in this very, very divine way, despite being mortal. This was because his mother was named Calliope, and she was one of the 9 muses. In ancient Greece, they believed if you could express yourself artistically through any art form, it was because the muses allowed you to channel this divine energy. Orpheus was born out of this energy, and thus he could express himself in a way that stirred the emotions of the gods. The thing he felt the deepest was love for a woman named Eurydice. The two are married, and shortly after their wedding, she's bitten by a viper, and she dies. In ancient Greece, they believe that your soul is transported down to a plane below ours, governed by this very old god named Hades, who's the god of the dead, and he's this very reluctant ruler with this very, very cold heart in this myth. And yet Orpheus finds the entrance to the underworld, he plays his lyre, he expresses his grief, he walks all the way down. The environment to the underworld sort of lets him pass in a way that it wouldn't let most mortal people pass. He finally gets an audience with Hades, and he makes a very, very famous bargain, which is the root of the myth, and the root of the entire story. And that bargain was for the soul of his lover, Eurydice. Because this is an allegory for grief and memory and all these things that outlived the myth when it was first told 5,000 years ago, the bargain was that he may not turn and look at Eurydice until she's all the way back safely to the land of the living. And in every single version of the myth, he takes the journey all the way back up, and at the last second, he does turn, and she is there. So tonight we're gonna play through this record. We're gonna start with a song called Orpheus. And in that song, we're gonna make a very important discovery, and that's the discovery that life imposes on us, that things end. The most important discovery that we're gonna focus on is the one after, in a song called Eurydice. She's given the choice to discover something secondary, which is that things might begin again after you make the first discovery, that they end. So hopefully, that's the discovery that we're gonna feel tonight. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this, for being here with us. This is Orpheus. take another sip. I'd hold the moment till the end, but everything is, and everything is there. Open the door and I went down the stairs. Turn back one last time just to breathe it. Say you see me, sun in your head. Be there for feels really mean now, felt real then. She smiled as she walked up the stairs. A bouquet of flowers clutched tight in her hands. The love of her life might be waiting up there, but wouldn't make real what she sees in her head. Her father said, darling, be careful with trust. It wrinkles and shrivels when it comes undone. So she got to the door with a tear in her head. Her heart moved her hand, but her feet couldn't lie. It's take one more step, the damage is done. If you turn around, you'll be given this up. But maybe it's time for you to trust in again. The ready to see girl is just give him your hand. You might really love you. Open the that stole your certainty. She didn't know she lost it sometime long ago. That I'm still servicing. If good times change, why the bad days stick around? She said, I'll just keep going to be kind to that same little girl who wondered why your parents cried as she grew up and learned to lie like them. I've tried to lie to you, but boy, you listen to me. See me for the first time. It's hard to love in the cold, but boy, it's time I tried. Thank you. This takes us to a song towards the middle of the record. As the two are walking up, Eurydice looks ahead, and for the first time on the record, she looks ahead and she sees the spring out in the distance. She sees the place that they're walking towards. Because of all the things that she's learned, where she's coming from, she knows that she might not actually get there. But this is the first time she feels hope again after experiencing hopelessness. It's a song called The Only Thing Left. It goes like this. Pile of edge. She just smiled and put out the last flare on her dress. And I so thought we'd be burned like the rest. Could it be that the next droplet of rain found a home in the dirt. Oh, life tried to teach me it only gets worse, but I miss you just after the end of the world. There's ringing in the distance, a box with the smoke, and my soul stirs so gently, it blends in the earth. We stood here together while everything burned. One day removed from the worst day on earth. So take both my hands, spin me around, feeling your arms, there's enough right now. Moves fast, we're still here somehow, and then it's for you when you say that. If we're next in the morning, or the only thing left in the room, is I finally trust that you love me, and I finally think I love you. I don't care if we're next in the morning, or the only thing left in the room, is I finally trust that you love me, and I finally think I love you. Give me your hands, I'll spin you around, you're in my arms, I won't push you back there. We've got the past, we're still here somehow, and it's for you when we say that. Hey. Yeah, it's pretty awkward to like do stuff in front of a lot of people. I always think I'm gonna trip or something. Oh, thank you. You're doing great too. Yeah, this is a really, really amazing crowd. There's something in DC. I've been looking forward to this show since we booked it, to be honest. Yeah. There's a lot of energy here. I think it's a Friday night too. Oh, thanks. Someone went to Philly. That's cool. All right, no spoilers, you know. That was stupid. That was a dumb joke. Anyway, we've been changing up the set list a little bit. You break a string? Oh, dude, that rips. We've been changing up the set list a little bit, and this was a song that we didn't really rehearse a lot. And then when I was in North Carolina, or when we were in North Carolina, my earbuds broke the way that I hear the show and stuff, and they broke, and I had to send them to get fixed. And the package was getting delivered to the venue, and they didn't deliver it. They like tried to, and apparently a signature was required, and it was on some random FedEx truck. But we were there in North Carolina, and I was like, I fucking need these things. So we all split up and started knocking on doors of FedEx trucks around the city. Yeah, this is a real thing that happens. Shit from Seinfeld or something. And we knocked on like 10 different trucks between all of us, and we were asking for a guy's name, and none of them were the guy. And just as we were about to give up, we found the guy, and we found the package just by knocking on the door of the FedEx truck. It was actually Nolan, he's the guy that came out. I lied at the last show and said I found it. So anyway, that's a long way of saying I've been experiencing a stroke of good luck recently, and so we're gonna play that song. It's a song called Something Sweet, if anyone knows it. It's actually the only song on the record, I believe, that was written before Orpheus, chronologically in my life. And I wrote that song, and I think this is a song that is part of the reason why this record exists. It kind of led me to Orpheus and to the myths and stuff. Anyway, you good? This is Something Sweet. Told her I'm not scared to live, I'm scared to fade. Father told me not to look behind, to see how far I came. Keeps getting warmer, it's getting late. There's a certain kind of beauty in the way that people change, but you might never get by before the world takes them away. So darling, tell me something sweet before I go, 'cause I might lose some things that people on this road. And I'll be sunrise, and there could ever be in my own. So darling, tell me something sweet before I go. On the street, turn into a haze. I lost my brother, now I'm scared to lose my faith. But I found some solace on your face and look away. I need you there for me, like wind against the rain. There's a certain kind of beauty in the way that people change, but you might never get by before the world takes them away. So darling, tell me something sweet before I go, 'cause I might lose some things that people on this road. But now the sunrise, and there could ever be in my own. So darling, tell me something sweet before I go. She looked at me, her hair was dancing in the breeze. I felt the weight of everything just off my back and out to sea. She told me to look up and scream, it's not your fault that people leave. It's never my fault that people leave. It's never my fault. Tell me something sweet before I go. I'm used to your fun friends, now I've lost the shape of mine. I promised you that I wouldn't call out until it's time. I think I'm getting old, but I'm too scared to notice the change. This age, the thing Don't you know I'm here? Don't you know I'm here now? All right. This takes us to a very unfortunate part of the album. That's the end of the album. To a very unfortunate song that I somewhat wish didn't exist. It's a song called "The End of Eurydice." Yeah. Boo. No, please don't boo me. I just created that out of thin air. Anyway, so I think this song is important to give a couple of disclaimers. Not that this show is short on me disclaiming and talking about things, but when I was first writing this album, it started with Orpheus, or really it started with Something Sweet, I guess, but when the narrative started taking place, I've kind of started saying this at shows, and it feels kind of right. It felt like I had this ball of yarn that I was kind of grabbing hold of and starting to pull, and it kind of kept going from itself. And every song kind of led to another song, and that was very, very different than the way I was writing before. It was very different from kind of reaching out and hoping you can pull something out or surprise yourself, and I never kind of felt like I was living in a world creatively when I was writing. And I had a lot of things that I was going through, obviously, and I needed a place to go through them, and I needed to sort of create that place, and this myth and all these stories and stuff kind of happened by coincidence, but it gave me that place, and as I kept pulling, the thread kept going and going, and I kind of thought it was a couple songs, then I thought it was an EP, and then I was like, oh, this is a whole thing, a whole album. And to stick with the metaphor, I looked at the yarn, and I was like, what is this yarn, emotionally? Yeah, I was like, what the yarn? And sorry, anyway. And what it was the myth. It was the end of the myth. It was the reason why I was writing. It was the thing that I was pulling from. It was all the past and the things that I was grieving. Things of past and things of present, and at the time I was really, really desperate to find something to latch onto, and it led me to all of these songs, and it led me to the unfortunate condition of the album, which is I needed to write the end, and I needed to face a lot of things, just like Orpheus literally does in the myth, that I didn't really want to face. And that led me to this song. It led me to a couple of other songs at the end of the album, and I'm glad it did, because it sort of led me to discover certain things about how I was writing and why I was writing. And I think the title of the EP I put out, which is called Versions of Uncertainty, sums it up pretty well. That's sort of love and grief, which are these two big infinite concepts that we don't really know how to define. And people don't know how to define both of those things. But we do know when we feel both of them. We know when we grieve, and we know when we love, and we know when we're in love. So this album is about both of those things, and it's about infinite things that sort of become latched onto people that you just know exist. And when Orpheus loses Eurydice, as we lose a lot of things in life, she disappears, she goes, she fades, he loses her, but he doesn't let go of her. And the real myth, don't look up the ending, the real myth, it sucks. Yeah, it's not good, not a good myth at the end. So I rewrote it, changed it, yeah. Which is a good lesson. If you don't like something, change it. Yeah, no, don't do that. Sorry, I got too much microphone time up here. Anyway, the album is about letting go of something, it's about losing something and not letting go of it. It's about retaining a piece of it. It's about the decision not to let go of something. And I think it's really, really important to say that, and to make art about it, and to talk about it. Because you don't always have to let go of things that you lose. This is a song about that. It's called The End of Eurydice. Softly extended, a single flower lay at her feet. You who loved me so gently, planned us to end incomplete. So I can't stay where you left me, at the crossing of age, time, and fate. All these roads in your memory, along the next life I create. Maybe it's time that I fade from you. Maybe maybe it's time that I fade from here. Top of the pathway, and nervously spent my last days. She took one more step in defiance as a single tear clung to her face. I turned forward but stood in one place as the image of her slowly faded away. How was real was I not, as her voice last exclaimed? How could something so real be so quickly erased? Tell me you won't let me fade from here. Tell me you won't let me fade from here. And tell darling, I won't let you fade from here. Darling, I won't let you fade from here. How many were at the Atlanta show last year? I think that was everyone. Shit. Cool. Well, this is a place that I hope to come back to again and again as we put more songs out. Keep doing this. Thank you for supporting me. Truly, it's such a beautiful, beautiful place. And while I have your attention, please give it up for Chance Emerson, who opened us up tonight. you very much again for being with us. We've got one more song for you tonight. Officially. We're not taking requests at this time. Yeah, because usually I don't play the requests and I let you down. Yeah, the rules, if you DM me and you're like, oh, play Fair to You and Dance Here Slowly, I'll be like, sounds good, I'll work those in. And if you send me songs that I'm not playing, I just won't respond. Because I feel guilty. But I'll come back and play, you know. I'd like to always maybe expand the show a little bit and get more time and, you know, maybe do like an intimate thing before the shows and stuff for people that want to hear the old songs. I've been doing this for a while. I got too many songs now. This is the last song we're going to play tonight, probably, and it's called Dance Here Slowly. It goes like this. Thank you so much for being with us.
In your eyes and
you so much, DC. I'm Vincent Lima. See ya. Hey! Oh man, fucking love DC, let me tell you. I don't know how many more songs we're gonna play, but a few at least. This is a song I did not prepare for the tour whatsoever, and then it kind of felt like I was missing it. People started shouting it out. Don't shout stuff. What? If you sing it with me, this is an old song. It's called Where You're Coming From, if anyone knows it. I still remember what it felt like to sit out on your porch during a slow night. To stare out at the street and watch them pass by. We're the only ones without some place to go. I didn't kiss you till it felt right. I knew what holding you would feel like. I wasn't hung up on the hard times. I fell in love before I saw you fly. Just promise me you'll read this letter and tell me that your life got better. They see the place you're headed towards, but I've been where you're coming from. I knew you when the light was distant. The tunnel was the place we kissed in. They see the place you're headed towards, but I've been where you're coming from. I've been where you're coming from. I still remember you with eyes wide. You told me how you never quite been loved right. A life would never beat you in a fair fight. The circumstance had never sent a fair foe. So I didn't kiss you on that first night, but dear, I held you and I held tight. I know the winds you've thrown to some side, but I fell in love before I saw you fly. Just promise me you'll read this letter and tell me that your life got better. They see the place you're headed towards, but I've been where you're coming from. I knew you when the light was distant. The tunnel was the place we kissed in. They see the place you're headed towards, but I've been where you're coming from. Yeah, I've been where you're coming from. The time's right on a slow night, I'll be there. Fly high, but don't land right, I'll be there. Sing with me if you know. Just promise me you'll read this letter. Tell me that your life got better. I see the place where I told. I know where you're coming from. I knew you when the light was distant. The tunnel was the place we kissed in. You see the place where I told. But I've been where you're coming from. Just promise me you'll read this letter and tell me that your life got better. You see the place you're headed towards. Thank you, that was beautiful. All right, we're gonna get the band back on stage. All right, this is a pretty fun audience. This is not something we were planning to do at all, but they asked me backstage if we could do it. I think we're gonna try to do it. We're gonna try to play a cover if y'all will sing with us. Someone just said no. Yeah, I said that at one of the shows and everyone was like, boo! And I was like, yeah, I don't know, this is what happens when you play shows. It's gonna be fun, just trust me. I went to the same university as the people that wrote this song. It's gonna feel pretty fucking random, not gonna lie. But it'll be fun, okay? Just have trust in your hearts and stuff.
more song. It's called Electric Feel by, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. It's one of my songs, don't worry. Don't yell at me. We got one more song called The Fire. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we did not prepare that last song, like a lot, really didn't prepare. And I put it in the wrong key. And everyone just fucking hopped on. And I didn't realize until midway through the song, they were not happy about that. That was awesome. All right. Thank you very much for a beautiful night. This was truly, truly spectacular to fill this room. To everyone come here on a Friday night and feel all these things with us. It's the greatest joy of my life to be able to do this with you. We're gonna have to get out of here quick, I believe, because there's another show. But you know, everyone goes outside. I'll be walking around and stuff. Yeah. All right, sing this one with us. This is called The Fire. It's about loving someone by joining them and not saving them. It's a good way to love someone. It's a beautiful thing. It goes like this.
We sitting in silence, I feel something caught in your eyes I can't hear. You've been so quietly violent, I feel it, the bloodshed between both your ears. Maybe she's tired of angels, and winters have promised her leaves. Lately she shares her pain. Maybe she doesn't want peace. So I went through the fire and I held out my hand. I'm not here to save you, I know that it'll fail. See, love is a rescue, it's somewhere to lose. And my feet burn to tear now, I'm in this with you. Devised and my boys was under the shore from the sea. Chained up and locked in the tower, she looked down. So boy, I don't need to be free. Spare me your happy ending. And I wanna feel everything. The branches are bare if there's love in the wind. Let it cry. Safety's just love for a fool. And you'll be my reason to carry on. But I need you to know in my illusions. Sing with us. So and my feet burn to tear now, I'm in this with you. I ran through the fire and I held out my hand. I'm not here to save you, I know that it'll plan. See, love is a rescue, it's somewhere. And my feet burn to tear now, I'm in this with you. Still made it to you. Thank you so much, DC. I'm Vincent Lima. Let's bring this.